Look up. What do you see? A plane, a blue sky, and a white line trailing behind it. Pretty ordinary, right? Well, apparently not. When I first stumbled across the Chemtrails conspiracy theory, I have to be honest with you, I was genuinely surprised. I thought, really, this is a thing? People actually believe that those innocent-looking white streaks in the sky are part of a secret government program to spray toxic chemicals on all of us? But here's the thing, millions of people around the world believe exactly that, and not just random people on the fringes of the internet. We're talking about politicians, influencers with millions of followers, and even some folks who've held high office. So today, let's do what we do best on this channel. Let's look at the evidence, let's look at the science, and let's figure out why this theory just isn't true. First things first, what are those white lines in the sky? They're called contrails, short for condensation trails. Here's what's actually happening. When a jet engine burns fuel, it produces hot exhaust that's rich in water vapor. At high altitudes, around 10 kilometers up, the air is incredibly cold, often below -40 degrees Celsius. That hot, humid exhaust hits that freezing cold air, and the water vapor instantly condenses and freezes into tiny ice crystals. It's basically the same thing that happens when you breathe out on a cold winter morning and see your breath, just way, way higher up. Now here's the key part. Whether a contrail sticks around for a few seconds or a few hours depends entirely on one thing: humidity. In dry air, those ice crystals sublimate. They turn back into invisible gas almost immediately. Poof, gone. But in humid air, they persist, they spread out. They can even turn into those thin, wispy cirrus clouds you see on certain days. And yes, they can last for hours. That's it, that's the whole mystery. No chemicals, no government plots, just physics doing what physics does. So if contrails are just water vapor, how did we end up with millions of people convinced they're being poisoned from above? The chemtrails conspiracy theory took root in the late 1990s, and here's the ironic part. It all started because of a misinterpreted government report. In 1996, the US Air Force published a report about weather modification. It was a research paper, theoretical stuff about what might be possible in the future. Nothing more. But conspiracy theorists took that report and ran with it. They accused the Air Force of already spraying chemicals from commercial planes. And just like that, a theory was born. From there, the theory evolved, and evolved, and evolved some more. Today, depending on who you ask, chemtrails are supposedly used for weather modification, population control, mind control, spreading vaccines, spreading COVID-19, or just vaguely controlling us for some unspecified new world order. Notice something. None of these theories agree with each other. The motivations keep shifting. The evidence keeps changing. That's usually a pretty good sign that you're dealing with something that isn't grounded in reality. Now, before we go any further, let me say something important. I'm not here to mock anyone. I'm not here to call people stupid. Because here's the truth, smart people believe in conspiracy theories too. So why? Well, reason number one, the evidence of your own eyes. You look up, you see a trail in the sky that hangs around for hours. You see another trail that disappears in seconds. Your brain says, these must be different things. And that makes sense, right? It's a totally reasonable observation. The problem is that the conclusion is wrong. The difference isn't what's being released, it's the atmospheric conditions. But unless you know that, it's easy to jump to the wrong conclusion. Reason number two, social proof. If you see other people, especially people you trust, believing something, it feels more credible. That's just how human brains work. We're social animals. We look to each other for cues about what's real and what isn't. And on the internet, those cues spread fast. One person shares a post, then 10 people share it, then 100. Pretty soon, it feels like everyone believes it. And reason number three, anxiety. When the world feels chaotic, when there are hurricanes, pandemics, economic uncertainty, our brains crave explanations. We want to know why bad things happen. And conspiracy theories offer something comforting. A simple story with clear villains and clear motives. It's easier to believe that some shadowy group is doing something to us than to accept that sometimes bad things just happen. And honestly, I get it. I really do. The world is complicated. Science is complicated. It's tempting to look for simple answers, but simple answers aren't always true answers. All right, let's get into the actual evidence. The EPA, the Environmental Protection Agency, has officially weighed in on this. In 2025, they released new online resources explaining the science behind contrails and directly addressing the chemtrails conspiracy. Their conclusion? Chemtrails are often inaccurately conflated with ordinary contrails. The trails you see are frozen water vapor, plain and simple. The EPA administrator at the time put it this way: instead of simply dismissing these questions and concerns as baseless conspiracies, we're meeting them head-on. We did the legwork, looked at the science, consulted agency experts, and pulled in relevant outside information. Even agencies that don't typically agree on much have come together on this one. The science is clear. Harvard University has also weighed in. Their atmospheric science lab put out a fact sheet that says, and I quote, "We have not seen any credible evidence that chemtrails exist. If we did see any evidence that governments were endangering their own citizens in the manner alleged in the chemtrails conspiracy, we would be eager to expose and stop any such activities." Think about that. Scientists, the people who love nothing more than discovering new things and publishing groundbreaking research, are telling us they would love to find evidence of this if it existed. It would be the discovery of the century. They would win Nobel Prizes. But they haven't found it because it's not there. Let's look at some of the common proofs that chemtrails believers point to. Claim 1. Some trails last for hours, others disappear quickly. That proves they're different things. We already covered this, it's humidity. In dry air, contrails dissipate. In humid air, they persist. That's it. Same stuff, different conditions. Claim 2. The government has admitted to weather modification. That proves chemtrails are real. Yes, the government has researched weather modification. Cloud seeding has been around for decades, but that's done at much lower altitudes using specialized aircraft, not commercial jets. And it's done to encourage rain in specific areas, not to poison populations. This is what we call a logical leap. Just because A exists doesn't mean B exists. The government researching weather modification doesn't prove they're spraying chemicals from passenger planes. Claim 3. Scientists are covering this up. This is the classic conspiracy theory escape hatch. When there's no evidence, you just say the evidence is being hidden. But think about it. Thousands of scientists around the world working in different countries, different agencies, different universities would all have to be in on it. And not one of them has ever leaked anything? That's not a conspiracy, that's a fantasy. Here's something I find genuinely funny about all of this. People are worried about being secretly controlled by shadowy forces spraying chemicals from airplanes. Meanwhile, we all voluntarily carry devices in our pockets that track our location, listen to our conversations, know our search history, and algorithmically shape what we see and think. I don't know why people keep believing we're being controlled in some hidden, elaborate way, when really, it's obviously our mobile phones. The irony is rich, isn't it? We're worried about what's in the sky, while the actual mechanisms of influence are in our hands right now, but I digress. The chemtrails conspiracy isn't really about planes or chemicals, it's about something deeper, it's about distrust, it's about fear, it's about feeling like the world is spinning out of control and wanting someone, anyone, to blame. And those feelings are real, they're valid, the world is complicated. Governments have done terrible things in the past, trust has been broken, but here's the thing, none of that makes chemtrails real. We can acknowledge that governments have done bad things without inventing new bad things that don't exist. We can be skeptical of authority without abandoning science altogether. The truth is that contrails are just contrails. Water vapor, ice crystals, physics, no chemicals, no mind control, no population reduction, just clouds. So let's recap what you see in the sky. Contrails, frozen water vapor from jet exhaust. Why some last longer than others. Humidity. Where the conspiracy came from, a misinterpreted 1996 Air Force report. What the science says, no credible evidence chemtrails exist. What the experts say, EPA, NOAA, Harvard, and countless others have all debunked this. What believers get right, it's okay to be skeptical. It's okay to ask questions. What believers get wrong, the answers they've settled on don't match reality, and that, as always, is why it's not true. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring the bell so you don't miss the next time we take a conspiracy theory, hold it up to the light, and see what falls out. And hey, next time you look up and see a trail in the sky, just remember it's not chemicals. It's not mind control, it's just water. And water's not out to get you? Probably. See you in the next one.